I'm quitting DIY music production. Now you might be wondering what that means and why I'm holding a guitar, by the way, and I'm gonna get into that. DIY has been a part of my ethos ever since I started playing music, which was at 9 years old, starting with the guitar. This guitar right here represents me as an artist, me as a musician. This is where it all started when I was 9 years old. This is what got me into music. Not all of the engineering, not all the tools. It was the guitar and wanting to make music. And the DIY ethos really carried me through my childhood. It was getting together with friends, playing basement shows, recording in basements, me jumping on MySpace to try to connect with other musicians in other local areas to try to set up shows in other spots in my own town, actually stringing together little tours in between school. DIY was the way that got me connected, excited, and learning and growing in my music. But as I got older, that DIY ethos pushed me to start trying to do everything myself. I started to try to learn how to do audio engineering, how to write all my own songs, play all the instruments, do everything. And I started to get into this mindset that if I was to be a successful musician, I needed to be able to do it all. I needed to stay independent. Again, that DIY ethos. I wanted to be independent. I wanted to be able to do it all myself. Well, as I started in my early adulthood and friends went out to school, I moved away to a different city. I started to really dig my heels into this idea that I needed to learn everything. And at this point in time, being able to record on a laptop was still a very new concept, but you could do it. And so I remember buying my first MacBook, buying a Pro Tools license, like an M Audio M box, and I started trying to learn how to record myself, and didn't really turn out the way I thought it would. So that is what turned me into diving deeper into the engineering side of things. I wanted to learn how to do this, figure it out, and I spent a lot of years burning the bridge between being a musician and being a technician. Now, if you're watching this video, I'm assuming you're probably in this similar mindset. You're probably trying to learn on YouTube, the DIY learning platform, the biggest one, how to do something. And you maybe have watched my channel or some of my videos to pick up some tips or to hear my thoughts on things. And I'm here to tell you that the DIY mentality, you need to quit it. I'm quitting it. And what does that mean? It means you need to start looking at what it is that you enjoy and what it is that you actually can do to release more music, to get back into the artistry, the creativeness, and not get so wrapped up in all this gear, the stuff that everyone's trying to sell you on, how to become a better mixer. You gotta learn how to hear compression, all the different compression types, how to hear EQ, all the different EQ types, and when to use what, how to do mix bus processing and the routing and your DAWs and your software and the virtual instruments and how to use AI for this and all these things. It's only moving more towards DIY because that's what sells. It's easy to put money towards a new tool and feel like you did something. And I love tools, but it's not going to get you where you want to go. And I'm learning this the hard way. Nothing I've ever done with music was worth releasing if it wasn't touched by another human being. That could be as little as bringing people in to give feedback to as large as working with other musicians, having somebody else do the production, do the engineering, do the mixing. Those projects always turn out the best, and they got done. The projects that stalled or songs that I got excited about but then never completed because I became my biggest roadblock in my DIY ethos, those songs never saw the light of day, or they haven't seen the light of day yet. Yet's the big thing here, because I am starting to put together plans to release a lot of music in the next year or two because I'm quitting the DIY ethos. Now, that doesn't mean that I don't want to stay independent and I don't want to be able to kind of call the shots and do things on my own terms, but it means letting go of the reins, letting go of control, because that's where DIY will take you. It'll make you think that you're in control. You want to continue that control, and then you burn out. You find out that there's certain parts of the process you're just not that good at, and the product that you released, you're just not proud of. And that's a bummer. And I don't want to be in that spot. I don't want you to be in that spot. So I really hope this video is going to encourage you to quit the DIY ethos, to stop trying to do it all on your own. Now, ways that you can do this and step into this quitting is to work with other people. Whether it's hiring musicians to fill out the production that you're working on, maybe going back to an old production that you try to do everything on, and then filling in the gaps with real musicians. It could also be, and this is a big one, I think this is a really great place to start. Hire somebody to mix one of your songs you're working on. Now, this one's scary. Don't just hire someone for like $100. Go like on Sound Better and find somebody who's like a $500, $600 mixing engineer. Get out your wallet and pay them to mix one of your songs, because what you're gonna learn really fast is your deficiencies in your production process, because you can't fix it in the mix, but you will learn a lot. And you might actually get back something that sounds pretty good, better than you would have done if you tried to mix it yourself. And then you can kind of hear what your songs sound like at a professional level. You can then gauge where you need to focus your energy and where you can quit the DIY ethos and bring other people in to make those parts better. This is something that I did recently, is I did hire out some mixing engineers to do some of my songs instead of me trying to mix it myself. Now, if you're like an ADHD psychopath like I am, you're gonna focus in on details and you're gonna be really second guessing the mixer, you're gonna be second guessing your production, you're gonna really start to go backwards and go, man, I should have done this differently. I should have done that differently. I should have done this differently. Or man, I wish this, and all these things are gonna pop up and you're gonna be like, well, you can't not pay the mixer. So you're gonna get a big lesson out of that payment. And hopefully you enjoy what you get back, but you will not be 100% satisfied. But it's gonna highlight all of the areas that you may have made mistakes along the entire production process. And I guarantee you this one, it's not gonna be, oh, I wish I would have used this other plug-in compressor on this part, or I wish I would have used this guitar over this guitar. It's not gonna be those types of things. It's gonna be your arrangement. It might be just how you sourced the original tone. You might realize, man, I didn't spend enough time on getting the right tones, and that's now highlighted in the mix. So that's a great way to quit DIY, and that's the first step that I really took. Second step is work with other musicians. Don't try to be everything. If you have a spot that you really excel at, like for me, it's the guitar, I know that I really don't want to outsource guitar. I've done outsourcing guitar, it's fine, but like a lot of the sound and a lot of what I've developed over the years is through playing guitar, so I really don't want to outsource that. I want to keep guitar as something that I do, so now I know I have a frame of reference for, do I invest in more guitar gear? Do I invest in, what do I invest in to make the guitar sound as good as possible? And thankfully, you don't need a lot, because you got a lot of virtual instruments and software these days that can do a ton. So I don't even hardly play my amp anymore. Don't really play my pedals anymore. Just kind of go straight into the computer because I can. And then it's the songwriting, it's the singing, it's the vocals, so that I really focus in on that. It might be different for you, but you need to think about where it is that you have really invested time to get good in your music, and then find other places to supplement. And the best place I have found to be able to quit DIY, I was not able to really do this in the past, because I mean, let's face it, if you're older and you don't have a strong network of musicians that are willing and able and can commit to a regular schedule to play with you, perform with you, to write, record with you, you're gonna have to pay people to do that. I would say that if you're in that boat, you need to check out Musiversal. Musiversal is a service that you can sign up for. It's a monthly subscription, and you have access to musicians, you have access to graphic designers, to video editors, to pretty much everything you would need to outsource to stay creative and to release music. And I can tell you, I've been using it for well over a year, and it's been a game changer for my musical productions. And the musicians and everything are top quality, and it's a great place to start to really offload a bunch of your DIY mentality and to quit. If you want to check out Musiversal, there's gonna be a link in the description below. There is a coupon code you can use to get 25% off your first month, and they have a 30-day money-back guarantee. So it's really no risk. You should definitely check it out. Use that coupon code and give it a shot. Now, with that said, I've talked a lot about I'm now quitting this DIY mentality and what it means and what results I've had since I've made this mind shift. I'm gonna show you a project that I can now say it's a demo of an upcoming song I'm releasing here in May, the beginning of June. I have the demo. I did it all myself. I tried to mix it myself, master myself, all the instrumentation, everything was DIY. And the demo itself doesn't sound bad, but then I'm gonna show you what I did with working with Musiversal artists, as well as outsourcing to a mixer and having it mastered by someone actually through Musiversal. We're gonna take a listen to the differences. Now, I have examples I could go even further back that'd be way more drastic, where there was a huge night and day difference between what I was trying to do in my room compared to what I was able to get in a studio with another producer and other musicians and things. And it's crazy the difference, but this will highlight that the demo I did, I spent way more time on and went through way more kind of, psychosis spells trying to get it to where I needed it to be. And the other version, a lot of it was pretty hands off. I did the editing and I had the demo to demonstrate to the producers and everything what needed to be done, but a lot less time, a lot less headaches. This is one of those projects where I did outsource to someone that was quite pricey in the mix department, but again, it highlighted a lot of things for me. I think it turned out great, but it still highlighted a lot of things in my production process that I was maybe overlooking or not spending enough time with. And that's a great learning lesson to have that you're not gonna get from buying more plugins, watching more YouTube videos, doing all these kind of passive things. And I know it's crazy to say to quit your DIY YouTube education because I'm on YouTube right now shooting this video. Stop consuming a lot of content, stop buying plugins, stop buying another guitar or piece of gear, whatever it may be. Invest in people, get a community around you, get things going to where you're not DIYing it. Quit it. It'll benefit you. Now let's take a listen to the beginning of June. So here is the demo version.
Joy and pain are on this circle track. One fills you up while the other takes it back. But don't lose hope. The pain in your darkest days will all fall out with the start.
And then here's the version where I said, no thank you to the DIY spirit. Check it out.
Seasons pass, joy and pain are on this circle track. One fills you up while the other takes it back. But don't lose hope. The pain in your darkest days will all fall out with the start.
So as you can hear, there's a difference. One sounds like good, but it's amateur. Other one sounds professional. Now you might be thinking, yes, well, I could hear in the beginning, like you have some ability to arrange all these things. And that was years and years and years of trial and error, trying to figure things out. And I wasted a lot of time. That DIY ethos got toxic and it was all about what I could do. And that became, a selfish thing because I'm not releasing music. Music should be shared. I wasn't finishing songs because I was overly critical of myself, or I was hitting walls and spots where walls I really shouldn't have been trying to climb in the first place. And so I hope this inspires you to get over the hump and get over yourself and really start to look at all the resources that are out there beyond the plugins, the gear, the new guitars, all the things that are being marketed to you, and really start to look at the things that can help you get to the finish line of releasing more music that you're proud of. Now, if you're gonna ask me what you should be focusing on as a home recording artist and a DIY musician, I think you should be focusing on your arrangements. So how can you do the pre-production, put things together to where you're happy with the way it feels, and then take that pre-production, work with something like Musiversal, which I recommend because it's $200 a month and you have access to unlimited sessions. You can book 4 at a time. If you do it right, I can average about 10 sessions a month which is crazy on how much you're actually paying for these services. And then from there, I would learn how to edit yourself. Editing is something that you can learn quickly as long as you know what you're looking at. And if you're looking to learn how to edit and do all this, go into my link below at Song Production Pros and take a look at some of the available resources I have or have coming. And that will help you, because that's going to be a huge skill that will speed up the entire process. And with editing, you start to learn about arranging. You start to figure out things that may be working, not working. It really kind of gives you the forensics into your music. And then from editing, basic mix skills just to get a rough mix, and then outsource mixing, outsource mastering if you can. That would be my recommendation. If you can get rid of the mastering, the mixing, and recording all the instrumentations yourself, you're going to be right on your way to making way more music and being just more happy, less stressed, less hard on yourself when you quit that DIY mentality, when it gets in that toxic space of really doing it all yourself. Now, I want to know what in this video resonated with you. Hit me up in the comments below. Let me know if you're going to join me with quitting the DIY music production process. And again, go on the link, check out Musiversal, 25% off of that coupon code. Also check out my website, Song Production Pros, for any other available resources to help you along in your musical journey. Keep an ear out for that release at the beginning of June coming here shortly. I'll have more details coming. And I hope that you have a great rest of your day. Thanks again for tuning in. See you later.